Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're doing the weekend prep here for the week starting March 29, and so I'm just doing everything fresh with all of you. We'll just kind of walk through everything and see what we see. So the first thing I like to do is just see what's on the calendar coming up. And so it looks like Monday we got Fed Powell speaking. So Fed speakers in the morning, so that'll be interesting. Um, and then there's some Chicago PMI and US consumer confidence happening. So that will be good for some volatility there on Tuesday. Wednesday, we got employment change from ADP to give us a peek into things. We got PMI flash for manufacturing, oil inventories, and then jobless claims on Thursday. And then on Friday, we got NFP. So that's going to be a big deal. So definitely a lot of opportunities. PMI flash. So Friday will be interesting. I guess there's a budget thing happening with Trump. Not sure. We also got Nike earnings, it looks like. We'll see if anything pops up here during the week for more important things. So there's what's happening there. So the war in Iran is still going. I think we're all becoming numb to it now. It's been like a month, which is not really good. We're kind of used to all the bad stuff. So there you go. And yeah, I don't really follow the war too much, but I know stuff has been happening. There's been people within the region who are participating more and more. So we'll just see how things kind of pan out there. All right, so we can hop into looking at the charts here really quick. So I went ahead and added just key levels, monthly key levels, previous month and current month on the daily charts. And I also added my maximum levels. So the yellow is maximum volume for the current month. We have the green, which is maximum positive delta level for the current month. And in the red is the maximum negative delta level for the current month. And so it just gives me a sense of, I use this on my 1 minute chart, but I think on the daily chart, it'll just give you a sense of the broader picture of things and who's in most pain and who's not type of thing. And so I added that across the board. And I guess like the big takeaway for me is, I know last week we talked about this November low, and this November low was clearly taken out on Friday. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know. There's more support here, I guess, on the NQ, like 2300s. So you got like 200 points lower potentially. And then on, ES, probably 6350s or so. So, I mean, there's a little bit more downside, but then we should catch some support, hopefully. So we'll just kind of see if that continues or not. So that is interesting. I think, yeah, these people maximum selling right here in the month, they're super happy. These folks who are maximum buying, they are not happy at all. Like you can kind of see those people are definitely in pain if they're still in that position. So it's not ideal. I guess interesting tell for me was there was a lot more selling here on the SPY at this kind of, I guess, equivalent of 6800s on the ES. So that's kind of interesting. A lot of people try to step in and buy there. And then when I look at gold, it's like all the volume was up here before the gap downs. So that's kind of, a lot of volume traded there, a lot of fighting, maximum buying and selling. Sellers went out to like gap down craziness. But then on the ETF, like a lot of buyers trying to step in here in this 420 range, but then a lot of sellers are picking up here in this 404s. So we'll just kind of see, we're between the maximum delta lines there. So we'll just kind of see how that pans out. But I mean, across the board, we've broken the previous month low, and that pans out in the top equities and everything else. So not ideal for longs if you're long. And then let's see on the VIX, we are just crushing it, going up, up, up. So there you go. YM breaking that November low. So that is what's happening. Still a lot of volume here. So what was interesting for me is there's a lot of volume here at the lows, near the lows. A lot of selling delta here. And so I wonder if they're just trying to push lower, if that was it for the month. For RTY, it's interesting. Like you look at the November low here, this 2300s. We still got plenty of room to get there. And so I'm just wondering now that we've significantly broken the low for for NQ and ES, right? Like it's done. It happened for YM as well. I'm just wondering, do we rotate back into RTY to kind of push it down so we can at least break that low so all the indexes can kind of move the same? And if we do that, then does that mean that we're kind of going to get stuck in a range here for a little bit while that happens? So that's just one thing I kind of think could happen, just given how RTY is kind of holding up compared to everything else. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if there's some follow through there. I guess the other thing would be relative strength. I guess if we can catch, like some longs on the ES or NQ to kind of push us up, in theory, RTY being the strongest index would give us a nice move up. So we'll see. But yeah, I just feel like as I've been watching these indexes for a while, like they all tend to do the same thing over time. And so I'm just, you know, like there's just a lot of room to push this down. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. Cool. And I guess we'll look at the how the flow looked like here on the options front. So Q, a lot of put and bearishness on Friday there. SPY not agreeing. So that is kind of interesting actually. Then we got GLDs kind of mixed, like it's kind of mixed to me when I look at that. VIX is, on its way up. I mean, Friday was bearish across both for the holdings. So, that kind of played out for the top equities. Interesting. So, like, not so much conviction in the Dow on the ETF. I mean, there's like buying volume for sure, but like you can see the puts are not elevated. Calls are kind of flat. So there's not a lot of conviction either way, which is interesting. And then for the RTY equivalent ETF, it looks like there's more like bearish conviction. I mean, not in the volume, but like in the options in the put flow, right? So that is interesting, like where we want this to go lower while the Dow not so much. SPY, we kind of want it to go up. NQ, more bearish, but a little bit mixed. So, like nothing really stand out. I think people are just trying to do their best to hedge and try to, make some money, I guess. But yeah, nothing really stands out there. All right, so if we look at our top 8 equities here really quick. So yeah, added the lines and everything. So Nvidia, I mean, kind of zooming out here, still holding up, holding all of that, which is good. Um, I mean, it did break the previous month low. You can kind of see that line there. So it closed below there. So that is not good for longer term for sure. Um, so there's that. Sellers are happy up here. But I mean, overall, it is kind of holding up. So there's some resilience there, AI and all that stuff. Apple, yeah, so we broken the low. I mean, there's still this line in the sand, this 243. A lot of buyers and a lot of volume here at this 248. So it's interesting. So this is the current month, it's simultaneously the most volume and the most positive delta right here in this candle for the current month. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's a tell. Maybe somebody knows something. But and that line is holding so far, so let's just see if that continues to hold. And it coincides with this big green candle there, so there you go. Could be something to look for in Apple. Microsoft, man, down. I mean, look, people really tried to buy on this day and it just did not work. And down we go. Um, yeah, it's looking pretty rough. I mean, I guess 344s, that is an ugly chart. So there you go. We got Broadcom breaking down here. So it's the previous month low still holding. So let's see if that just kind of keeps it up there. Um, yeah, that's going to be the line in the sand for here. I think, yeah, if this starts breaking and if Apple kind of breaks through all this, maybe there's more downside across for the Qs and SPY. So we'll see. Yeah, Amazon looking like it wants to hold up after that breakdown, but I mean it's yeah, we'll see if they can hold that previous month low. If all these previous month lows break, it's probably not going to be a good look. All right, for Tesla, I remember for Tesla, I was looking at this. Yeah, and so, you broke that and people are trying to buy in here. It's breaking down some more. So I guess if you're stubborn, 344 is your like hard stop probably, and yeah, this is not for me. I don't know. Just have to see how that pans out there. Meta, I heard there was like a lawsuit or something. They're liable for mental health, I guess. If you use social media and you have mental health issues, they're liable. So that is rough. Um, so let's see, 479. Let's see if we can get there. Yeah, but that looks. See, this is where like if when we have single stock futures, man, it's gonna be great. But just kind of watching this, I guess like most of the volume in the last month coincides with the maximum delta or maximum negative delta here. So yeah, a lot of people definitely selling here at the 603 and people started to buy up here, I guess. It looks like in this 539 in the last month, and we'll just see if we can kind of push back up with that, but let's see. And in Google's kind of like Nvidia, kind of holding up, but like we're kind of 270 if it breaks that, it's no longer the strong one. And yeah, buyers tried to step in way up here and they are completely wrong, and then sellers are like, yeah, and then down we went. So these people are in pain, or they were in pain, so we'll just see. So yeah, I mean, things look more like we're breaking down more. I mean, we saw that in the SPY and the NQ, but I think it's like the line in the sands now are going to be Apple, right, to hold. I mean, Apple already broke previous month low, but like to hold that, Broadcom hasn't broken its previous month low, but if it can, it's going to be rough. I think everybody else has made a new monthly low, except for Amazon. So that's Amazon and Broadcom. If they can break those lows of the previous month, then yeah, let's just go down, down, down. So there's that. All right, let's look at the options flow for our top 8 here. Trying to see if anything really stands out. I mean, Broadcom, a lot of call bets here on Friday. So there you go, trying to hold us above that line. Nvidia, a lot of puts here on Thursday. Didn't quite follow through on Friday. Amazon, more puts on Friday, so there you go. Bullish bets. Yeah, Tesla's meh. Meta, yeah, bullish. Or Thursday was bearish. Google, look at that. Ooh, man. A lot of bearishness happening on Google, so nobody is, I mean, except for Broadcom, but like, yeah, so this is kind of telling for me, this Google bearishness here and also this Amazon really trying to break it down. So we'll just see. But yeah, like down, people want down, or people are expecting down. All right, so looking at the sectors here really quick. So we got XLK, which is our tech, starting to break down like the Qs. Yep. Financials breaking down. Hitting to some areas here. I mean, getting into some support areas, so we'll just see how all that holds. Yeah, it's 47s. We'll just see. XOY discretionary breaking down. Shit, if we get below this 103, then get down to 102s, because there's that gap that's kind of there from a technical perspective. Ooh, man, energies up. So it's interesting. Most of the buying happened here at 56. Most of the volume in the month traded there, pushing up. A lot of sellers trying to step in, but they're now in pain. And so I just wonder, like, if you're actually buying these, are you gonna get squeezed out there? Oh man, healthcare is this is down, down, down. I guess 140s. That's rough, man. And then what do we got? Industrials, down, down, down. What do we got here? We got some support, probably 156, 58, 56 area. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty rough. And in the most volume, it coincides with the most selling here at this 166 for the month. So this is interesting. So this is staples. So most of the volume traded down here. So, you know, not really sure. I am assuming buying, right? Because it kind of broke that support, broke all this. Yeah, I assume people are trying to buy this and see if we go back up. A lot of selling up here. A lot of buyers got stuck, or if they're still in it, they got messed up there. But yeah, interesting that there's a lot of buying there in staples. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. And in utilities, all the volume is kind of clustered up here, and we've kind of broke down, but we've kind of pushed back up. Retested this 45 levels here, so feels like we might continue downwards. I mean, you got the previous month low down here, so there's room for it to go down, to be honest. So we'll just see how that goes. We'll skip the options on that. And then we'll look at here quickly on kind of our metals and macros. So dollar, a lot of people are kind of pushing to sell it here. So we'll see. We got our the treasury yield futures still supporting more downside. It's interesting for the month. There's a lot more selling pressure right here. And so I just wonder if there's more downside to where, you know, a little bit more. So we'll see. I don't really trade it, but just something to watch for NQ and ES. Bitcoin, wow. So a lot of volume traded here at the 70,800s. Buying and selling kind of fighting. These sellers are happy now as we break down. Let's see if we can hold that previous month low. We shall see. Seems like a big deal. Oil, crushing it. I mean, all these people trying to pile in short and sell, they are now in pain. People, all these buyers right here. We closed near the top of this. If we can break, then up we go, and we gotta kind of go for that new high. So let's see. What is this, palladium? Yeah, broke all that support, so we'll see. A lot of selling right there. More selling here on copper. Breaking down. I guess we got more room to go down to those 4800s to be similar to palladium. And in gold is just psh. Yeah, I mean, just kind of watching it. I think we'll just have to see. I mean, it could go either way from my perspective, and so yeah, just gonna kind of watch that and just see how that goes. And then I guess real quick, we'll look at the options flow for all of these things. So we got Bitcoin, more, well, a little bit more bearish on Friday on the ETF, but kind of muted, nothing really crazy there. And then we got oil, more buying volume, but nothing crazy on the calls or puts. Gold, muted, nothing. And yeah, nothing stand out for silver. Palladium, nothing really stands out. And in copper, yeah, there's nothing really there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what things look like. I think going into, and I guess as we close Friday, just looking at price action. And so this is looking at how price on, I think it's the, yeah, I forget that the settings I have on this. Actually, let me see. Oh, on the last day, yeah, how it is, or how it closed in relation to its 20 moving average, and we're kind of clamping that. Still bearish across the board, so yeah, we'll just kind of see how things go. I feel like energy, crude oil, that is the clear winner. I think we saw that just red across the board. So we'll see if there's a surprise over the weekend again and we push back up on Sunday. Who knows? And we'll just kind of keep going. But I think to wrap it up, I feel like there's still something about RTY having still its November low intact. And so I think there might be something there to watch. But yeah, cool. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck and don't get caught. Thank you.